Hello and welcome, guys, to ScrollsTalks. Okay. With me today, I have in this episode titled Echo, 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 the Master of Echoes, the Overlord. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I have Xylus with me again, his second time here on the show. Welcome.
Hello.
And finally, for the first time, we have Billy. And that makes this the first four-man Scrolls Talks podcast. Welcome on to the show.
Thank you very much.
Progress.
Very much so indeed. So now, guys, I'm gonna ask you guys to be quiet for for a while as I recount what's been going on the last week. And essentially, not much, aside from the Set 7 stuff, which we are gonna get to in a bit. So what's been happening?
It's a big thing, man.
It's a big thing. That's why we're devoting a whole segment to it. But other than that, not much has been happening. We had the weekly design contest number 20 on Monday. It revolved around 2 H-point units. You can still send in a submission for that. If you win, you not only pick the theme for the next weekly design contest, but thanks to our friendly community managers, you also win a Tier 3 common scroll of your choosing. So that's a little something that's now new to the weekly design contest. You actually win stuff. On Wednesday, there was the weekly scroll discussion special. These will continue in the future, and they will cover the design contest scrolls. So we have two more left after this one. This one was on the scroll coronation, which we will be talking about today. And there was no creative corner from my part as a result of the mega fan-made alliances set that I made a couple of weeks ago. But before we move on to the scrolls, I believe that the Overlord has something he'd like to say in regards to the ESL.
Yes. And I need to at some point make lists for you. Like, stuff happens. Like, the Anatron went on a break. Anyway, regarding ESL. There was a little bit of discussions when it came to if there should be rules in how you can fix the matches in regarding to talking to opponents and set up the games, because we had this Bunny versus Bunny match, and some people were not a big fan.
I never saw that, actually.
I saw it. I actually really enjoyed it. It was way more strategical than I thought. But some others didn't. Anyway, so there's two. I'm not. This is not a big topic for the show, so I'm not gonna be too long on it. I'm just gonna take it short, and I'm gonna address what I feel is the two question marks in it. One, taking a tournament seriously, and two, being able to talk to your opponent what you're gonna play. The first one, taking tournament seriously, that I feel is on the tournament. The tournament needs to be compelling to for people to take it seriously. If the tournament is not compelling, I'm not gonna tell the participant that you need to take this seriously. That is not gonna happen. And what was that?
Sorry about that. Carry on.
That's sneeze timing. Anyway, and I just love it was like that kind of sneeze were like bullshit.
Just to let people know, before we went live, we were just laughing, right? Like there was no serious build up to this at all. We were laughing. I'm shocked we got as far as we did. That we got as far as we did.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, short story there. I'm not gonna tell people they need to take a tournament seriously. They should take it by default by the tournament being compelling. Anyway, and the second part, talking to opponent. I understand it's unconventional, but I don't necessarily see a wrong thing with it. Like, let's take a less dramatic scenario, like two people talking, like, I'm so tired of aggro all the time? Can't we both play something late game and they agree? Like, I don't see the big problem. What is a problem is if you decide the outcome of the game. You are not allowed to decide, like, can I win so I can get to playoff? You're already in playoff. That's not okay. You're not allowed to do that. But deciding what to play, sure, I don't have a problem with it. That said, you can always have a dialogue with the people when it comes to, because we have streamers, we have people watching, and we want people to take it seriously in finals and stuff. But for that we can talk with them. We don't need rules. So that was the short with the ESL. It's a whole lengthy discussion. Trust me, people have been talking shit ton with me about it. But that's not what this show is.
It's not just you. I mean, it's in general. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so those who are curious what we were actually talking about right now, there was this Bunny versus Bunny ESL tournament thing. I have no idea what happened, but some people wanted the ESL tournaments to be more serious, so the Overlord said something just now that I kind of missed. Anyway, we are going to move on to the main topic of this show, which is the Set 7 Scrolls, now titled the Echoes Scrolls. And you guys, have you been taking a look at the test server and have a look at these scrolls?
If I sure did.
If I could get on, I could, but unfortunately the bugs come back where I can't get on.
Well, I have permanent access, so I'm always on.
It's a private yacht club, I say. But
I
did get
Dude,
a chance.
blame Cantor. Cantor has permanent access, and he never wants to test stuff. I'm like, you're the worst tester.
See, I pestered the developers for test server access for ages, but then when I got it, I didn't get on either very much.
Oh, well, you guys, you should have just been in the alpha and gotten permanent access like me.
It is a private yacht club, I swear. No, I did get a chance to play with them, and I think they're good overall. I think they're an interesting change of pace, and I think that every single one of them is at least interesting, if nothing else. Not all of them I think are good, right? But you expect some of the cards to be duds. So yeah, no. Overall, I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
At least they're not like 1-to-1 vanilla duds, but they're interesting as well.
Yeah. No, that's important because they're not, like you said, there's something to every single one of these, and it might not be good now, but who knows? You know, some buffs, some nerfs, some changes to the meta, and they could be decent.
Okay, well, with that, why don't we move on to one of these scrolls and discuss it more specifically, and then we can.
For 30 minutes.
No, not for 30 minutes, but hopefully for a couple of minutes, and then we'll round up our thoughts about these 12 scrolls as a whole. So the first one is Mystic Storm. It's a 2-order spell that says your lingering spells count up by 3, and your opponent's lingering spells count down by 2. The Overlord, what are your thoughts on this?
The artwork is amazing!
I agree, I fully agree.
Anyway, regarding him himself, it's really good. However, it's one of these, it's not that awesome in a mono order deck. It's doable, and you can run it in a mono order. I do it in one of my decks on the test server. But what this is really good for is multi-resource deck, because multi-resource, they often have some kind of lingering. You much rather, many think of Halls of Umlasa, but there is other lingerings you can do stuff with.
I posted a link in chat.
And being able to count up your lingers with 3, it's really good in some cases. So it's a really useful card. It is.
And you guys, Xylus and Billy, what do you think about this?
You want to go ahead? Okay. I actually just posted a link in chat, which is a screenshot of me playing versus the medium AI.
Yeah.
Self-made. I like Mystic Storm. It is super cheesy. Like, you need to build your deck with lingering spells in mind, and I don't. With multiple lingering spells, I mean, not just the typical Umlasa stable, which is, I think, both a great challenge to deck builders, and on the other hand, it restricts it being played in typical mono environments, just like the Overlord said. But I still think it can be really interesting if you build the deck around it.
May I just mention again, sorry that I already talked, but just as an answer there. The thing is that it is really good in mono decks. It's just that Order don't have any awesome lingering. Like there's no
that's really my
problem to play.
Yeah.
The one I've been playing around, for example, is with Grounds of the Fallen. That one more attack for all units. That's quite efficient in some like mid-range decks, but otherwise it's not that many lingering. But let's Silas then talk, or was it Silas talk?
I think Billy was gonna say.
Yeah. I want to say my piece on this. Really, really interesting, right? I think everyone agrees that this is probably one of the most interesting scrolls to come out of the set, because unlike any other spell that we've seen before, this one is it's like a buff in the sense of like, you know, like it helps lingering spells, right? We've seen so many ways to deal with lingering spells that are, you know, like kill the lingering spell or remove the lingering spell, right? But this one changes it, and it gives an interesting way of counting it down. So it might not destroy it all the time, but it at least gives you less to deal with, right? It means that your opponent's effect, whatever it may be, Halls of Unmaster, isn't going to be as effective as it would have been, right? And beyond that, it also buffs up the ones you have on the